Welcome back. In this second part of our special series on human trafficking, KTIV's Joe McMahon speaks with law enforcement about what they are doing to combat the rise in trafficking cases and what signs the public can watch out for.
The biggest thing is that if you see something, say something. Make the report and allow law enforcement to go ahead and triage that initial response.
Of the two types of human trafficking, it's harder for law enforcement to identify labor trafficking.
Within labor trafficking, which is a harder violation for us to identify, again, because we have something that's inherently illegal where someone's being exploited.
Here are signs to watch out for with this type of trafficking.
You are looking for individuals that might be in a lower skilled or a lower wage job where language is a barrier. We have individuals, if you see someone that's living where they're working, or that there is a fine or an interest or whatever else, that manipulation of wages is usually a pretty significant indicator for us.
The other type of trafficking is sex trafficking. In that case, there are different things law enforcement is looking for.
When we're talking about commercial sex trafficking, again, depending on where you are at, we see folks that are, if you see a lot of frequent in and out of a room, foot traffic that's out of the norm for the rest of the hotels that are paid for in cash.
There are things that the public can watch out for too.
We ask the public to look for is if they find a subject, it can be male or female. A lot of times they end up being in the younger age range, but it can be all ages. But what we look for is people that aren't necessarily in control of their own possessions too. So like they don't have a phone, they don't have access to their own money, or they don't have access to their own transportation, and they're usually accompanied with another human being, and they're rarely left alone.
Making sure you know who your kids are talking to online is important.
They will often pose as peers of their age. So if that's happening, but they're suspicious about it, they should report that, and we can look further into it because that's a common tactic that they use to meet up with underage people.
Having conversations with people who are close is a good start to stopping human trafficking.
So just open communication with your family and your friends, and making sure that you have safe people in all of your kids' lives so they have somebody to reach out to.
Reporting in Sioux City, Joe McMahon, KTIV News 4.